as a righty, my shadow is going to be casting to the left. So typically, if my flashlight's going to be mounted this far back and whatnot, I would normally put the flashlight more so either on the bottom,
okay,
or I'd put it on the same side, so that way the shadow is going, like my peripheral vision is kind of screwed to my outside. My inside eye is the one that's grabbing the information. My shooting eye is being hindered by the optic and all this stuff that's going on. So in this case, as a righty, your left eye is the one that's really grabbing info, and your right eye is the one that's aiming. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, the way this is set up, the shadow will be cast into the eye that's trying to grab the information.
Yep.
Which, the catch-22 of this is when you have these flashlights that sit and hang way out, then what happens if it's on this side, it's kind of in blocking your vision, but your eyes are going to be higher than the flashlight, so you're kind of looking over it, kind of like you're looking over the rail. So I would say when we get out here tonight, we're going to play around with it and go see which one is better or worse. If you look at this setup here, this is kind of a preferred. Now, if this is here with this muzzle brake, you want to see if you have a good quality flashlight, because if not, this muzzle brake ports where the air is coming out can break some of the lenses and knock the bulbs out, right? So with Trevor's setup, where it's very similar, this one with the suppressor, you're not going to run into that because the suppressor is not kicking air out the side, so it's not going to damage the light. But both of these setups, if you look at them, right, what you have is the flashlight is mounted so it sits forward, so it's up toward the end. So now let's say as a righty, right, I'm lefty, but as a righty, now this is a very clean setup because my light is all the way out, so it casts no shadow. The only thing is we just got to make sure that this doesn't break the flashlight. But now my left eye is clear. This side of the gun is clean, so this eye can grab the information, right? And there's no shadow issue. So this is like the preferred way. You know what I mean?
Rifle?
What's that?
You want a lefty rifle?
Yeah, here we go. So this one for, if I were to do this, like how we were talking about for your setup. So now, as I'm looking, yes, this is in my way, but it's not going to have a shadow here. And it's not so much in my way that I can't see because my head's higher than this. My head sits higher than the barrel because I'm looking through the optic, right? So I'm kind of looking over it. So this is going to create less of a disturbance, less of a shadow, and give me a clearer picture to do my search, right? More so than having this one sitting on that off side, but sitting way back, because that's going to create a pretty big shadow. So just some of the things to consider. I'll show you my setup real quick. I have mine where it sits. Let's see here on my main rifle. Let's look at this one. So this one here, you can see I'm lefty, so it's on the right side. So it's here. I have it as far forward as I can. Obviously, it would be nice if it was further forward like those ones, but I have it mounted as far forward as I can. And then the laser is on a parallel side, out of the way. So the laser will be mounted on that side, parallel, coming out. It's out of sight, out of mind. But this one tucks in nice and tight, and it sits in that 45. So I have it low versus high, so I can see over. So I have more field of view looking over top, so less things in the way. The only catch with having a tight mounted flashlight is it creates a little more shadow, right? Because it's in. So the further out, the less shadow, but it's more shit that's in your way. So what we do is we just basically come out and you mess around with the setup and you see what works best. But that's just something to take into consideration when we're going for the placement and mounting. So where we put this stuff on the weapon system is a strategic decision. It's not just, yeah, let's just throw it on there and go shoot. You know what I mean?